Okay, here we are under the Golden Gate on the radio here at Mutiny Radio yet again on a lovely April, what is it, the 12th of 2013.
Yeah.
Friday. Coming off, a big successful night last night under the Golden Gate. Premiered its show-off show at the Red Devil Lounge with comedy and burlesque and performances, and most of the people here were, and drag, totally, but most people here, somebody unplugged me and messed with my thing.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, that was fun. And Dan, thanks for setting that up. And Red Devil Lounge is our new sort of show-off venue, right?
Yeah, no problem.
We did a preview show. This is more of a preview show.
It was a sneak preview show, yes. And so we had our sneak preview. We Pristine Condition hosted it. We had many of our favorite performers like Baronce,
and Alexis Von Kickin' Face.
Kickin' Face and her boobs.
And she had lollipops in her boobs.
She had lollipops and those little Smarties.
Oh, yeah, she was eating Smarties off of her breast.
Yeah, some people ate Smarties off of her breasts.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Who
anyway,
ate Smarties off of her breast?
Duplicity Delimited.
Man, if you're gay, you get so many women.
All you got to do is pretend you're gay. Like last night, I was Maria last night.
Right.
I'm not Maria now because I realize it takes. I don't know if I want to become a woman full time. It takes too much effort to get ready.
It does take a lot of effort, yes.
But you know something, you do have an advantage in that. Let me tell you, I got to touch and smell all these female bodies and bond with the female souls.
Right.
Become a sister. Yeah, it's fabulous. I was in heaven.
Well, it was a super great time, and so now we're just revving up for our big premiere next May 23rd at the Red Devil Lounge.
Can I say something?
Of course you may.
I feel sorry for people who weren't there last night.
Well,
You're right.
I always feel sorry for people who aren't at my
I
show.
feel sorry for the billions of people in China, the billions of people in India, right?
They're just unfortunate to be born in the wrong city.
Yeah, yeah. And, really, San Francisco is a great city where I have some friends just moved up from L.A., as well as Philippe here. Well, of course, we always ask this question. Difference between L.A. and San Francisco, right?
What is it different about LA and San Francisco?
Really. That's what you said last time. Can you be more specific? It's more, let's see, it's smaller, it's more fun, it's easier to get around.
Yeah, it's smaller, more fun, easier to get around. You make friends so much easier here than you do in LA. It's just like in LA, everyone's trying to figure out how to advance their career.
Yeah.
And people are just here more about having fun.
Yeah, and the most embarrassing thing about going to LA is if you ever go to a karaoke bar in LA, they can really sing there.
I will pit them against some of my friends who are karaoke nuts any day of the week.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. My friend of mine, Johnny Cat. Well, number one, he'll be having a party April 20th, Wigioki at his House of Fish for a birthday party, and I dare you. You should come and see the amazing performances you'll see all night.
Yeah, I tell you, so somebody who can sing, that's really impressive.
I mean, anybody that's a show folk and they have a show folk karaoke thing, then you end up getting lots of great performances.
Yeah, that's right. So,
anyway.
That's fabulous. So, what do we got? What do we got going on this week here?
Sleeping,
exactly.
getting over my hangover.
Have we got the news?
But we have that too.
Yeah,
Let's do the news.
We're always saying that we're going to come up with a song to start the news, and we never do.
We got to do a new song.
Maybe if we all just go da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Or maybe we'll just have a contest. So people who are listening to us now, please submit your Under the Golden Gate news songs for us to choose from, and we'll choose one, and then we'll have you on the show and play the stupid song.
All right, come up with my notes.
We're all low energy because we basically had a great fun show last night. We're still got hangovers here.
Yes.
You know.
This goes out to Michael Brown. Never give me another Jaeger shot, please.
Oh God.
Because I don't turn them away because they're free. It's like a shot they're giving you. So you don't see. So of course you say Jaeger, and it's fun at the time.
Yeah.
But the only one that enjoyed it this morning was my cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only one that enjoys my cat because I lay there inert for like so long trying to recover that she just lay on me as a big heat source.
Yeah, plus it's like whenever I go out as Maria, all I want to do is drink, and especially considering I was wearing my new shoes, my new awesome multicolored heels, and I needed to drink in order to endure the pain.
Well, the one thing I want to say to a whole listening audience is wait till you get a look at Maria rocking with the band last night. I mean, they tore that thing up.
Thanks,
it was an original song by Maria
called Groovy Little Punky Chick.
And so she showed up early, got the boys in the band together, chit-chatted with them, showed them what to do. I saw them over in the corner gesticulating wildly. And
Yeah.
then, next thing I know, they're tearing it up. The whole band is.
Thanks for listening. It's a lot of
awesome.
fun getting up there and playing some tunes,
Well, yeah.
With a band.
Yeah, well, we got the cameras
really
going.
good.
Yeah, we have the cameras going. So we're gonna be putting that up on the Under the Golden Gate, underthegoldengate.com page soon.
Yeah, and the
for
band.
everybody
So
to see.
this band is there every Thursday at the Red Devil Lounge.
And it's called We Are All Stars Here. So it's comes out as Wash.
Yeah, and you
as their
can
name.
get up there and sing with the band, and that's between 7 and
7 and 9 every Thursday. It's pretty much free to get in. You can just hang out, have some drinks, and get up there and sing if you want to. And so we were asked. They were short one performer group last night, so they asked us to sit in as show off.
Great.
And so it was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good preview.
Oh yeah, and Andrew Roberts did comedy. He was quite funny too.
Quite indeed. So there's another shooting. America's had another shooting.
Now we're on the
shooting, my
news.
God.
You like
Another
this,
one?
Mark, because it was at a
What's that? Yeah.
it was at a university. So
You're at a university. Another one. Another disgruntled student.
no, I just think it was a disgruntled man.
It's just
But
somebody
this
who's.
guy only wounded 2 people. What's happening to shootings in America?
I don't know, but I want to know, is gruntled a word? Because if you're disgruntled, that means at some point you have to be gruntled or pro-gruntled.
That's a good point. Yeah.
So never mind. I'm
Are there any
sorry.
actual sesame?
So this was a disgruntled person who was not a student.
I only read that. I'm gonna preface this by saying I only ever read the headlines.
Yeah, exactly.
I
mean,
never read, the actual story themselves.
yeah.
Well,
It's like-
that would require too much.
There was a sexual assault recently, and the girl actually found out about it on the internet. She saw footage of herself being sexed because she'd passed out.
Is this a girl? But she committed suicide.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that's
that
kind of a
sucks.
sad story. The thing is, obviously people are wondering, can you hold Facebook responsible for something like that? Because I think they saw it on Facebook and she felt humiliated. This is an awful thing. And the fact that, the youth, young boys, 15 years old, in order to prove their manliness, have to rape
so
a girl.
it was this
and
gang
put it
rape
on-
thing, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like, and that. And I mean, they're taking pictures of her because they're probably thinking in order to be a man and show their friends that they're cool, they got to show a picture of them raping this girl.
I just don't think that anyone can do anything these days without posting it all over social media.
That's so 2013.
Yeah, so.
Well, at least that way it's easy to prove a case against them.
Yeah,
These guys are stupid.
But see, the thing is that
You're right. It's like
it is because the kids are stupid, and it's just fascinating because I remember reading a book from I guess the 90s about a small town where all the football players were just held in super high esteem, and they ended up taking some girl with learning disabilities down in the basement and putting all kinds of stuff up inside her, and eventually raping her and everything. And she went along with it because she wanted to be popular, and then little by little the word got around, and it was about this whole city, how the whole city just wouldn't even turn on these guys because of it. And it just shows you how some of these kids are being brought up with this false sense of importance.
Yeah, and they got to know.
Because they're an athlete or there's something this or that and the other.
That could be brought into mainstream as well. Of
course it is.
Woody Allen got to marry his own adopted daughter.
That's pretty bad.
I mean,
and that was a big doo doo whenever it came out.
What was Presley's first? She was 16.
Priscilla Presley was.
Priscilla.
Oh yeah, well then Jerry Lee Lewis married his cousin who was 15 or 16
God.
or something
I reckon,
like
if
that.
people
Did he use it? Well, if you don't use a condom, you can fuck your cousin, right? If you use a condom, right? That's cool.
Well, if you're in Tennessee.
We might move to the next story.
You ever see my cousin? Jesus.
You want to play that game we've been playing, Alive or Dead? Jonathan Winters, famous.
I saw that. Jonathan.
Wait.
Winters.
Jonathan Winters, is he alive or dead? Did
He's
he just
dead
die?
now. He
Yeah,
just
he just
died.
died.
That was the news.
When did he die? Just the last.
Yeah,
today.
I think today.
Oh, really?
This is
Jonathan
the
Winters.
beauty
See,
of
look,
the internet.
even
He was one of
surprise
these-
Mark.
He was one of these guys when I first saw him, like, Jonathan Winters, what is this crap? And I saw him on a show. I'm like, he's actually pretty funny.
Was he?
Yeah.
Well, he's legendary, and what I find interesting about him is how many regular, or more famous comedians worship him, like Robin Williams and all these other ones. He was the one that they watched when they were growing up. That they wanted to be like. I never thought Jonathan Winters was that funny myself either. I thought he was a little annoying.
He had a very serious. He didn't have a face for comedy. He looked like a prune.
Oh, I don't know about
A
that.
sad head.
Well, but isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Isn't a sad, pruny head funny?
I'm looking at him right now. He looks like the kind of guy who used to tell me off when I was young.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe I've got a.
I mean, he looks like your dad.
No, my dad never spoke to me.
You heard
we
it
go.
here.
The US names 18 Russians as human rights violators. That's kind of the kettle calling the pot.
18 Russians. Okay, let's start off with Lenin, Stalin, Khrushchev. Oh, they're talking about people who are
I think
alive.
these are new ones. I'm just saying, are we really the ones to point out human rights violators?
It's
Are we going
yeah.
to start pointing out bloody environmental, violators? And
I mean, the only reason we're pointing out human rights violators is that people stop looking at us.
God, we're clever. That's why I love this.
You're supposed to. Remember, we want to keep the population dumb. Don't enlighten them, Philippe. Come on,
Exactly.
You're treading on
If you're
thin
doing
ice
something
here.
wrong, don't cop to it. Just point at somebody else and go, well, look what they're doing.
Yeah. Look how bad these other
Yeah,
people
look at that. Yeah, you think we're bad? Look at them. They're god awful.
Yeah, I got one here.
All right, sorry.
Here's an Australian one.
Oh,
I read. Oh, you got this one?
Nah, I just like it when you.
The Prime Minister. My phone is acting weird. The Prime Minister of Australia apologized for a policy in the 70s where if you had a child out of wedlock, you had to give it up for adoption.
Shit.
Like apparently, this was a law in the 70s, and apparently people have been waiting for the Prime Minister of Australia to finally apologize and say that was pretty much a dick move.
I thought you were really going to call us out because I thought that there was a law in Australia where like Aborigines were classed as fauna until like the 50s or 60s.
Really?
And it was because in the Constitution you can't actually erase anything. You can just put a line through it.
Yeah.
But everybody can still read it. So yeah, we've got quite a checkered past.
So like, are you more behind than Australia's pretty far behind, isn't it?
We're just they don't
Well,
bother.
they're way at the bottom. They're way out in the bottom of the world.
I mean, is that really true? You had to give up your child
But they
for
do great
adoption if you
special
weren't
effects.
married?
I'm sure no one enforced it. We don't really have laws like you guys have laws.
So you don't really enforce law. There are more guidelines.
No, it's like this is like what it should look like you're doing if a police officer happens to be looking at you at that current point in time. Otherwise, pretty much just kind of look like you're not fucking people over.
Oh, I got one more. It's official. Research has concluded that women like men with bigger penises.
Is that official?
No, I'm telling you, I read this in the news. And here's the thing, and then it's some kind of study from the journal proceedings of the. Oh, my iPhone is giving me trouble.
What I want to know most is what matters more.
The National
Length
Academy of
or
Sciences
girth?
study. What matters more? What?
Length or girth?
That's a good question. They did. There are a
know
couple of things
girth.
they
He
didn't
owes
cover
me
here.
money.
First of all, this is the. Yeah.
Philippe, don't laugh at that. Come on, man.
Don't encourage him.
There was another study that said, guess what? Men prefer women with larger breasts.
Well,
But
I get that.
But here's the flaw of the study.
Yeah.
You see, let me teach you a little bit something about marketing here. Right? Everybody wants more of this and more of that. The question is when you're forced to make a trade-off. This is what the study should show. Would you rather date a man who has a huge cock but is kind of a dick? Or, no pun intended, or a guy who has a smaller penis but is a funny, nice guy? You have to make a choice between those two. A 9-inch cock dick guy who's got a 9-inch
Right.
dick and he's an asshole,
Right.
or a 4-inch dick but he's funny.
I would move on to the next
Which
man.
one? Who would you go for, Dan?
I would go for neither. I would move on.
That's why Dan's alone.
That's why. Thank you.
He had
That's why
such
I'm
a-
alone. I have
he-
standards.
He had such a sad face when he said that. Dan, he was just like,
Poor
"I'll just
me.
move on to the next guy."
Because,
What about you?
girl, you're talking about my Thursday night.
Really? He was somewhere in the middle?
I don't know. No, I'm just laughing. I'm just saying, because you meet all these guys, and it's always like, well, I'll just pass on both of them. I mean, they both have problems that I can't deal with later on. I don't give a fuck about their dick.
Oh, so in other words, no matter how nice of a person
Well,
is,
I mean,
what's
I
the
prefer if it
minimum
wasn't
dick
small.
size? What's the minimum dick size for you?
Well, as long as it doesn't look like a Vienna sausage, or maybe a pinky, I'm okay.
So is there like
5, 6, whatever. I'm
5,
not
6,
that
but
picky.
then
I
there's a
don't
minimum
get
girth.
my ruler out.
But then there's a minimum girth as well. How do you measure girth?
I'm not a girth guy.
No, so you could go with like a pencil dick that's like 9 inches long.
Well, if I'd seen one, I'd probably enter it into a contest somewhere. Just take some pictures, put it on dick.net or something. I don't know.
Penis size. Was this in the news?
No, it said
it's always in the news.
The earth-shattering revelation comes to us. I'm reading this from a study from the Journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. In which a team at Australian National University showed Australia again.
You
Australians?
We never
Fucking
had a lot of
Australians.
toys when we were young.
Well, you did have one between your legs.
That's what I'm saying. Well, you can never find a more enjoyable toy to play with than your own.
Yeah.
But here's
Shrinky
the
Dinks
thing.
never had it compared to that.
Here's my issue with the very large cocks. They can't even keep it hard.
Oh, because
Well,
it's
that
not enough
depends on the
blood?
guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's like once you get past a certain size, they
Right.
can't keep it harder, then it's no fun after.
Yeah.
So
Then
it's
it's like,
like
a
Now,
big-
do you have a law? Did you read about this? Is your own personal experience?
well, it's my
I want
opinion.
to know where the
Come
data.
on.
Cite your sources, Philippe. Don't bring it up on the air if you can't cite
I will
your
say
sources.
from my own personal
Personal
experience.
experiences.
Some guys, and watching porn.
Oh,
some
fun.
guys
Yeah.
with the larger members, Rick Donovan, but of course he was doing drugs. But he had like a gigantic one, and he could never keep that thing all the way up. And from what I understand, there are certain people that never could until Viagra.
Yeah,
And it just simply there just wasn't enough blood to go into that thing to keep it erect that long.
Into big dicks.
Yeah, but
I guess it's a good way to cool down though on a hot day.
just slap you in the face, self in the face with it.
Or just work up a chubby, and then it'll get all the blood away from your external organs.
Well, there you go.
I got a new story.
Okay.
Oh, well, go for it.
Apparently, there's protests in Berkeley about these new luxury apartment developments. They're saying that they're upping the price of standard living. They're saying that the
Wait, so they're increasing the rent?
they're just building new upper class housing establishments, and the Berkeley protest brigade has come out en masse to protest them building expensive apartments when there's homeless people on the street.
How dare they?
Well, I like Berkeley. I live in Oakland now, and the thing is, I'm scared I'm going to get shot. But in Berkeley, you're scared that you're going to shoot someone because these, I want to say cunts, but I'm not sure whether I should say
That's a word
you already
you want to reserve that for very special cases.
Berkeley cunts.
There you go.
That's what
Berkeley cuts.
that's what I call them.
Be specific.
But now the Berkeley.
You're talking about like the board, you're talking about like the governing
I'm
board,
just
or
talking about
The
the middle.
soup-
you're talking about every single person.
You're
in
talking
Berkeley
about the
is a-
super liberal.
Yes, I'm talking about the
Control freak.
table shopping.
Yeah.
Arrow. Can I not
who will
get
get
that?
all
Is
over
this
you
a-
for eating the wrong tea or drinking the wrong poo.
Well, my
whatever.
experience with the Berkeley liberals was as an expert in green energy, I went to a discussion on hydrogen fuel cells, and they were talking about how much it's going to save the environment and everything. And I pointed out that hydrogen fuel cells don't create energy. You need to burn fossil fuels to feed them. And they told me I don't care about the environment because I was bad mouthing their
Right, how
analysis.
dare you- exactly,
How
how
dare
dare
I
you-
suggest that the laws of physics don't apply here?
Yeah.
Well, it's like all those people thinking those electric cars really save the
Oh,
world,
God,
the
they're
planet.
terrible for
They're
the
terrible
environment.
because they have to go mine some awful metal out like in Africa or something.
Yeah, you got to mine the metal. Not to mention the fact that 70% of the power grid comes from fossil fuels,
Exactly.
and it's extremely inefficient to transfer power from the power from the power plant to
Right.
the car. It's
But
actually
you-
more efficient to deliver
But
gasoline.
then you try to tell some of those,
Yeah.
and I mean, I'm super crazy liberal in Texas, but here I'm firmly in the middle.
Yeah, the thing is, and then these liberals, if you don't agree with them, they will just sit there and live in fantasy land. They'd rather live in fantasy land than hear the
brutal.
truth.
They are.
Yeah, they will
absolutely
get brutal.
That is.
And I'm sure we're making friends right now. We love you all.
Well,
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We're not living in.
Let's
Berkeley.
edit this part out.
No, man, we've got to start some controversy, get people interested.
You're right, exactly.
Let's get some action going between
Fuck.
SF and Berkeley. That's
Fuck Berkeley, man. We don't have to
Man.
listen to your bullshit no more. Revolution.
But then I go down to Stanford and I start working with those folks, and they're like worse for different reasons.
Why is that?
All I care about is money. You know what the purpose is of Stanford University? The purpose of the university system is to get money for venture capitalists. So if you're dealing with something like green energy, they don't care if the technology works or not. It doesn't matter to them. You know?
Well, I think, we got to look at the past. I think, like, the Flintstones had the right idea when it came to transportation.
Yeah.
You just cut, like, a big hole in the bottom of the car.
Yeah, and run. Yeah.
And you use your feet.
I always wondered how did the wheels stay on that thing? Anyway, enough of that.
I don't know. I think I was trying to bring back our audience because it's venture capitalists.
Oh yeah, that nobody wants to hear about. Give us something interesting. Let's get back to something.
Let's get back to how about calendar?
How about Obama's income has dropped according to his taxes?
His income has dropped.
Yeah,
He's even donating some of his income back.
in 2009, he reported earnings of $5.5 million in income.
Doing what?
I don't know. It doesn't say that.
In
That's not part-
2009? When did he become president? I'm losing track of time. 2012? Wait, hang
No,
on.
for 2006 or
2008. 2012.
Well, he just got rehired last year. wasn't
2008.
Right.
So when he
This
was
is
president.
Obama's. This is both.
Well, wait a
as
minute.
well as
He's been a
Michelle.
senator for like 30 years. What the hell is he doing to make that kind of money?
I don't know. That's not part of the article. Okay, give me a break. I'm just reading.
The news sucks because the news is not reporting the real issue. The fact that the guy's
Well,
even
this
making
is
more than a
always the
couple $100
case.
grand. I want to know where money's coming from.
Well, this year he
Now,
only made.
He's been a
Okay.
senator his whole life.
But last year he only made $608,000. So there you go. Now you're happy.
When did he make?
Only.
$608,000.
So why did his income drop? Did they say why? As usual, the news does not report the most important stuff.
Shocker.
Oh, wait,
It's owned by corporations. What do you expect them to tell? The
I'm
truth?
just like being like Andrew. I'm just reading the headlines. Jesus.
there
Well,
we go.
should we go on to the calendar now?
I've got some bright news to finish up on.
Then finish up with some brightness.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen is incredibly impressed with Lindsay Lohan's
Oh, I heard about that.
comedic acting ability. What did you hear?
That.
Ha! All right, so Charlie Sheen and I like Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan.
Wait, he just commented, or he's hiring her to do something?
No, they work together, and he thinks she's got comedy chops. And I think Charlie Sheen's a funny guy, even when he's not trying to be.
Is that right?
Well, especially when he's not trying
Well, I
to.
guess I'm looking for some meat in this story. I want to know if he put. Okay, he's saying she's funny. Is he going to put some money behind it?
Well, I read he was putting her in some project or something.
Okay, well, that's what I'm looking to hear.
I haven't seen the story. I saw the story like earlier in the week.
I'm sorry,
but-
since I'm a boy today, not a girl, I'm being very aggressive.
That's all right. We want to get some controversy in here. You know,
Yeah, you're right.
Obama, he made a lot of money, Mark. A lot of money.
Oh, don't
where
start
all
him
these
back up
guys are
again.
making their money. Come on.
Yeah, man. Green
Where
energy.
do you think it is? It's green energy. You know,
You're
the bribery.
right.
You know all about that.
all
You should know
bullshit.
all about that.
It's all bullshit. There's no point. You might as well just have. I like the. Ever see the movie Spinal Tap?
Many times.
Yeah, they asked them at the end, "What is your philosophy on life?" And I like Derek Smalls, or was it the bass player? Have a good time all the time. That's my philosophy
your
on life.
philosophy. That's what-
Have a great time, party all the time.
But that's
That
how
sounds
you,
much more Maria than Mark.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
true.
how you end up sick in bed for 2 weeks as well. You know.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
took
have-
some. I tried a little some of this powder.
He popped the molly. He was sweating.
Popped a couple mollies, and I was like, woo! And I was sick for like 2 weeks. My
And then
God,
that-
but I
trickle down effect that affected our economy. That affected
Yeah.
the Golden Gates economy.
It certainly did.
did. But I like your analysis. Mark makes the money, Maria spends it.
There you go. You've got a relationship with yourself.
Oh God, it is so much fun being a girl. I'm actually missing not having my triple D boobs bouncing around because they really feel good.
That's funny. A while ago, you were celebrating the fact you didn't have to get made up.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
See, both
Yeah,
sides.
it's a lot of work.
Always at war with each other.
Well, people warned me, like, if you decide to become a girl full time and get the boobs done, that means you're going to have to be getting made up all the time, like to go to the store. I'm like, fuck that.
Oh yeah,
I kind of like.
but you'll be able to kiss your boobs.
I kind of like a woman who just wears like blue jeans and a black shirt or something like that.
Yeah, but like I need a lot of makeup to even be like, you know, if I got big boobs, I need makeup.
Or else
I'm not going out looking like
it'd
this.
be scary, like some Silence of the
Somebody named
Lambs.
Elsie.
Yeah.
Did you? Did anyone else have any news stories or?
You know, I thought this was fun. There's interesting news about this Bitcoin. You read about this Bitcoin currency?
Have you heard about this? Have you
Yeah,
seen
I was like, it's going to the news that there's this new international currency, which is like kind of like Bitcoin. It's money that's being controlled by an organization that a bunch of engineers or software types, and apparently it was pretty successful until people were speculating on it, and the value of the Bitcoin went from like $10 to $30 and down to $2 and crashed.
Jesus.
And then people are sitting here wondering, how does this work? How does the value of a currency go up and down like that? It depends on who buys the money. But anyway, it was a kind of interesting story
Hey.
about things that they're trying to do, but I thought I don't know if anybody had heard of that.
Well, the
Yeah.
North Korea thing's still happening, and I'm still asking the question: we going to war with them because they won't join our monopoly gang? Because they won't base their dollar on the American currency.
That's why we're going to war. That's
Well, that's why we went to war with Saddam. He wanted to change to the euro in order to buy oil.
Is that right?
Apparently.
I like this. I like this good conspiracy theory. It's good stuff.
Well, in the end of the day, we put him there in the first place, and then he
Oh,
grows
yeah.
a mustache and thinks he can start telling us the way the fucking game
Yeah,
is
exactly.
played.
It's the mustache was the problem.
You remember Puppet,
That was what got
whose hand
offensive.
is up.
I mean,
Back
why
to your skirt.
do all these horrible peoples have mustaches? I mean, there was Hitler, there was Saddam.
That's true.
Andrew Roberts.
Andrew
Yeah.
Roberts.
I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah.
You should have seen me with a mustache.
Philippe
Forget
just,
it.
Philippe just laid a burn on me.
Well, strike a match.
Yeah, and the really sad thing is about these guys, like, you know, take a look at Kim Jong, whatever his name is, the guy in North
I
Korea.
don't like
He's
him.
like friends with Dennis Rodman. He loves American this and American that. The guy's just a dick. He's getting off on having all this money. They have like 1 million people in the military, something like that. Why don't you put those people into the, you know, making some products, whatever? But it's the same old
I
story.
think we sort of militarized them when we kicked the shit out of them for no reason in the 70s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And now they've hardened the fuck up, which reminds me of a kid at school whose dad used to punch the fuck out of him when he was young. When he got old, man, he was a bad, bad dude.
Did he ever beat the shit out of his dad?
That would be the question. He beat the shit out of me. I know that. It's kind of misplaced rage.
Yeah, see, dads don't realize your key to being immortal or mattering is your children. If your children don't love you because you beat the shit out of them, when you die, they're never going to fucking sing your song.
No.
You got to remember that. So he used to say, Dad, I know you're dying, but you were a fucking dick, and I'm never going to mention you again. I want you to know that.
I'm not going to even get you a gravestone. You'll be forgotten the moment you hit the ground.
Exactly. I just want you to whisper that in his ear.
Do we need to do the calendar?